I got three things going on here. None of them are which are mine except for this. And guess what? Yeah, I come first when it comes to that. When it comes to my wife, my kids and my pets, and myself, we come first. That's what it is to it. I put this one on first. And a little bit more. Now I haven't tried this out on the new track yet. I took an old, well, it's not an old one, but it's a barn door type track that you can buy up at Tractor Supply. And then I put a set of wheels up in there on a piece of 1-inch square stock and bolted that to that. So this is the first I'm actually using this. So I don't know if the wheels are going to support everything, which I'm thinking they should, because there's two wheels, one on each side of the track, and there's another two down the other side, so there's 4 wheels holding that up. And the track is bolted in up there with 4-inch lag, and that's all I really have up there for that right now. I didn't go through all the way because this came back. And I got a radio out there that I have to work on and program. Oh. And the guy that's been waiting for that radio has been really patient. And he's been waiting. Well, first, the AuxNet, the guy that's in charge of this national, I think I told you, he's a Motorola employee. He's been with Motorola for 30, 35 years. On selling Motorola and what do you call it there, surveying where the towers are going to go and what you need and the groundings and stuff like that. Because some of these towers are nuts. You know, you just put it up. They cost hundreds of thousands of dollars just to prep everything for that. You know, in some places, you know, you got to actually put a copper, like a copper net down that can be 1,000 feet by 1,000 feet, or you know, half a mile by a half a mile by a half a mile. Like, you never know. You got to cover it. You know, you need that grounding, that counterpoise, so to speak. So it can, you know, it can become costly. But he wants everybody to use this one certain radio. You know, he's kind of weaned on it. You know, he's been with it. Now, personally, I think there's other radios out there that work just as good and that can be used, but you'll have a hard time getting it past them because him and his sidekick, and I don't mean it as a, you know, trying to be funny. She took over. She was his assistant, and when he went to national, she took over his position. So, but so you got to order these radios, and for a while it was almost 5-6 months before the radio come in because the manufacturer was running behind. Well, wait a minute now, you know. If that's the case, why isn't there a backup radio that we might be able to use? So you'd rather not have anybody on communications because they're not running that radio? You know, I mean, it's not like that radio won't talk to the other radio, you know, or the other radio won't talk to that one. I don't have one, and what I have works just fine. But at that point, this guy has been waiting, and he wants to get involved with the AuxNet. And we can use people in the Division 24 that I'm more or less in charge of. I think we have 1, to maybe 3 active, me being one, Ray being the other, and Tom. So, and last month I missed it. I've been so involved with things out here that I forgot all about it. There was a meeting on Sunday on Zoom on communications that I had to be there. And I forgot all about it. Luckily, the division commander called me and says, "Where are you?" I go, "Okay, why?" "Well, you're supposed to be on at 3 o'clock. I said, "Oh, shit. Well, I was working on Coast over here." So, you know. But at that point, this guy's been patiently waiting. He finally got the radio in, and he finally got everything installed. It's been about 2 weeks now that he's waiting again, because the radio has to be programmed. So he had to get it to me. All right, we had paperwork that has to be communicated back and forth via email, and on top of that, now the radio has to be programmed. So now it's sitting there waiting for me to program it. This is kind of the final step. If you make it this hard for people to get involved, they're not going to want to do it. Not everybody is as patient as this other guy. You know, so, either straighten things out so you don't have to jump through hoops. And I don't mean hoops, I mean hoops. It's ridiculous. It really is. All right, we're going to do this gently. This is me doing this. I'm going to let it sit for a second. There's a lot of tension on that. It looks like it might be okay. Maybe. Let's let it sit for just a second. Hold on a minute. See if I can juice it up a little bit more. A little more juice. I got it set on 12. Let's bring it up to maybe 13 or so. We're moving up now. We're up to 12.9. Every little bit helps at this point. Let me jack this up to 6 amps instead of 2 amps. And the batteries over here are getting tired. Eventually I gotta have to go down and pick up some new ones. It'll probably be, not eventually, but it's probably going to be this spring or summer. I don't have a voltmeter over here to really tell where I'm at, but we will see. We will see. I still want to run it a little on the slow side here. Not really quite. Trying to pick up the table too. Push that back. Still got to get by the wheels. Let me grab my coffee. Then it takes a special cable and program to program these things. Now, lucky enough, when Rob Barb was around before he passed away, young guy passed away, good guy. Anyway, I was able to get a copy of the program. He worked for a commercial communications place, where they used to do a lot of, repairs and sales and stuff like that. So they did a lot of repairing and programming, yada, 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 yada. Plus, he was an underwater welder. He used to do a lot of welding underwater. So I got a program off of him. The cable, I said, well, if it becomes where I need it, I'll buy one. So, buying a cable, I don't know what they're going for now, 50 bucks maybe, to use once, to me is a waste of 50 bucks. But, like this guy John I'm talking about, he's been so patient and waiting and waiting and waiting. So I said, let me just grab a cable. So I'm going to see if he's going to want it maybe and let him have it so that, buy it basically. So he'll have it, because if I'm not holding the position anymore, because a couple of times I was thinking I'm dropping out of the position. I don't need rank, and pulling out. He'll at least have a cable for whoever takes over. If something has to be programmed, hello, he'll have the cable for it. And if anybody else is going to get involved, while I decide what I want to do, I'm going to tell them, listen, when you buy the radio, order the cable with it. I don't own one of those radios. I don't plan on ever owning one of those radios. Therefore, why do I need a cable? You follow me? This time that I'm using it now to program this particular radio is the first time in 2 years that I'm actually going to need this cable. That's like having $50 sitting there and saying, there it is, but I can't use it, That's crazy. So, and the way they make everybody jump through hoops, it just makes things worse. All right, we should be jumping up there. Let's see what we have. I'm pushing. That should do it. Now, I do not want to tie knots in this because I won't get them out. I wonder how much this thing weighs. I'm going to have to check that. I could probably back it on here a few times. That may work. Yeah. Let's see. Just got to get it a few times. If I get it up there a little bit taller, a little bit higher, I can kind of just finagle it over. But it's just trying to get it up there. That may do it. Yeah, these batteries are tired. They've got the voltage. They have amperage enough to run, a radio and things. That's not a problem. They'll run pretty much all day on it. However, they really don't have the amps that it needs to bring this thing up. So right now I'm pushing it on voltage, and hopefully We can get those amps up enough to make it work some. Where are we? We have about 5 inches to go. Maybe 6. But we're there. I got enough up there for it. So, see the battery? Let me go run the other side. This used to have a small, I don't know, can you see that battery? Right here? Yeah. This used to have a small battery that used to fit in here. It was just a small, like a small flashlight, you know, gel cell type battery. And it was all up in here. So it went bad the first year. The first season, basically. And there was really no way for it to charge. You have to use a charger that it came with to charge it. So I said, well, first of all, that battery sucks. I didn't want to take a charge. So I said, I'm going to get it out of there. So I bought a motorcycle battery, so it takes the vibration. And then I took where the battery was, and I put this little drawer in there that you can see the squirrels tend to like to eat in there. I usually keep little cables and things in there that I may need if I have to jump it or something, or jump something with it. So I put this battery in there, and then there was a plug here, just like a little earphone jack type plug, and it had number 18 gauge wire running from it down or over here to that little battery that was in there, and you get a little 5 amp charger. And I said, this is crazy. I mean, come on. So I bought the battery, I built the battery box. Let me hook this back up in there. There we go. I mounted it onto the frame. It doesn't stick out any further than the wheels. I wanted to make sure of that. I took the 18 gauge there. Well, it was also for start, but the 18 was for the charger. They were using 12 gauge to go to the starter from the battery. The 18 was for the charger here. Anyway, I ran 10 from the battery in, and I put the banana plugs in there and ran 10 from that down into the charging system. So now, well, not the charging system because it hasn't got a charger, but where everything connects up here. So now I just put in a banana plugs with a 50 watt solar panel, which is going to give me about 3 amps, maybe 2.5 amps. So it keeps it trickle charged, and the battery's always charged. And this battery is a couple years old now, and it's still hanging in there. And if I need to change it, pop it out, I put another one in. And when I hook up the charger, it's getting a full charge because it's charging to a wire that can handle the amperage and the power going into it. So, and if I have to change it, like I said, it's there. The other battery, I had to take the gas tank off and these covers off in order to get to it. Because up here, there's 2 bolts that bolt down through this piece here. One of these is over here. So you can't get this off even when you take these off each side. So you have to take each side off to get them out there. You got to take these off in here. Then you got to unbolt the gas tank up here. It's a pain in the ass. So I said, it's not worth it. I'm not going to go through that. The generators themselves, I'm happy with. But sometimes these little battery designs, you know, come on. Would it have hurt to have an access panel here? You know what I mean? A door with a hinge or something? Yeah. You know, this here way, if you do want to put another battery in, you can click, unscrew, new one in, close it, it's done. Even if you 18 gauge wire, it was only 18 gauge wire. It was only 18 gauge wire. teen gauge well. It was only a 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 teen gauge well. It was only